Hey guys, welcome back. Welcome back. So, I really just want to kind of talk about burnout. That feeling of just feeling that you have no more to give, you don't want to do anything, whether it be, you're a teacher or a student or just juggling a lot of things going on and a lot of responsibilities. Um, Burnout is something that can creep up on you so quick. So, let's talk about it. I think it's important to understand what burnout is. What is it? What is burnout? So it's more than just a feeling of feeling tired. According to research, what they found, it is this chronic state of stress that leads to physical and emotional exhaustion. Make sense? And feelings of reduced pleasure or feeling that you're doing well at meeting your goals or doing what you want to do. That's kind of what burnout is to a T. Um, What do you do and how do you know if you are experiencing burnout? Well, if you're experiencing burnout, what you're going to do is you're going to see that you're feeling that chronic fatigue. You're feeling tired all the time, even after you slept all night, even if it was a good sleep, whether you feel rested. You're going to notice that you're going to have a negative outlook about work or what you're doing or in general life, you know? You're going to have some more irritability in with life and things that are happening. Small annoyances turn into something that are become huge problems. And then, of course, your performance. You're going to see a decline in the performance that you're doing in all aspects of life, work, home, financial, everything, right? There's just a big shift and change. Um, what can cause burnout? I think that that's something that people don't think about. They think that you get burned out from work. That's not even the whole to that. I've seen people, especially in the YouTube generations, that are experiencing burnout, and it's causing what was going so great for them to turn down quickly. We follow a couple people that were like our favorite YouTubers. Like we watched them all the time. And then what happened is that they had something happen in life and they just no longer posted anymore, right? They were at the burnout stage. I don't believe that YouTube burned them out. I think that everything else happening in life made it to where they didn't want or to have the desire to record. And, William and I have kind of experienced that as of recently on a channel that we have. And it's one of those things where we aren't necessarily burned out, but what we're finding is that when we go on vacation, we want a vacation because we're kind of burned out from everything else around us and we need or want to enjoy that time on vacation versus recording and having, things that we need to do or and versus what we want to do. So, what causes that burnout? Well, like I said, workload, having too much on your plate without the proper support. That's a big reason to burn out. As a therapist, they say that burnout's really real. A lot of times it's because there's just a feeling of powerless, um, feeling like you can't control what's going on or that you can't help what's going on. That's something that causes a lot of burnout in my profession. Um, Another thing that causes burnout is when you have those unclear expectations. So, whether it be at home, your spouse, or whether it be your boss or your anything like that, anytime that you have unclear expectation, it's an added stress and it can lead to confusion, right? And when you think you're doing good and then somebody has something to say about that, it feels like you are defeated, right? And that over time creates a burnout feeling, a sense of burnout. Um, Not having proper work life balance. Okay. That's something that you really got to think about when you're talking about burnout because a lot of people will work and work and work and work and never think about their personal lives, taking care of themselves. And I talked about it a lot. We have to do self care, right? You have to take care of you, whether it's going on a trip, whether it's taking a day off just to recoup, whether it's taking, time to spend with family. You have to be aware of the balance that your work life needs with your personal life. Neglecting that personal time for work commitments can create a severe feeling of burnout because you're not taking care of yourself, right? Um, let's talk about what solutions there are to burnout because people will say a lot. You'll hear, I'm burned out. I just can't do it anymore. I'm burned out. So, what do we do to help with that? Well, when we talk about one of the last things that I said was we have to have, you know, good work life balance. We have to have a good balance with taking care of ourselves, right? So you have to be able to set boundaries. And I am not the greatest at that. I can admit that to 100%. And I feel that there are times that I should put more emphasis on setting clearer boundaries because it would help me with my feelings of just being tired and exhausted and getting to the burnout phase. But mine doesn't come with my clients, mine comes with my actual I mean, I guess I would say my boss or my higher ups, right? I don't ever feel that I've felt burnout with kids or my clients. But sometimes some of the requests or desires for me to do extra for my job became too much. You know what I mean? And I did really good at setting boundaries for that and making it very clear. And that was great, right? So I was able to take back some of my own control. Therefore, it reduced those feelings of burnout. I wasn't feeling drained. I wasn't feeling that there was nothing left of me. You can't, I wasn't getting that you can't feel from an empty cup feeling. And that's something that I do look at because in my profession, there is a lot of conversation. There's a lot that I take in from clients. And it's one of those things where it's very hard to have that boundary setting at times, right? Um, I think with that setting boundaries, one of those things is taking breaks. You have to incorporate regular breaks throughout your day, throughout your week, throughout your month, throughout your year. You have to be able to take breaks so that you can recharge. To think that you will go and just do and not have any breaks is to think that you are going to burn out. That's exactly what that's going to create. You have to, again, practice that self care, engage in activities that you enjoy, nourish your mind and your body, and just take care of you. Exercise, hobbies, meditation. Like I said, take a day off. Do whatever you need to do for your self care because your self care is going to look different than my self care. And then, of course, you have, if you get through and get to this point of feeling that you are burnt out, seek help. Seek help. Let somebody hear or take from you professionally what you need to let go of and let them help guide you or give you ideas or suggestions or tools to prevent this from happening in the future. Okay. I feel like one of the things that I learned right out of the bat at school was one of my professors told me, Diane, you have to have a therapist of your own. And a lot of people don't understand that. They're like, well, why would you need a therapist? You're a therapist. Because what I do in a day is I take and absorb all of my clients' info, right? And then I come home and I have my whole life that's going on as well. And there's times that those become enmeshed, like they intertangle, and I feel the stress or I feel the pain or I feel the anxiety from others. And if I didn't have somebody to talk to, I'm going to be honest, burnout would have happened long ago and I wouldn't be where I am today because that voice of reason, that voice of logic, that person that can tell me, dang, Diane, you need to slow down. You need to take a break. You need to go on a vacation. You need to, make a schedule, do this. That person is the person that's going to help me through, right? They're my lifeline. They're the ones that support me. And that is a very important aspect. It's not only when you're a therapist. I think in any job that you have, there are going to be needs and requirements that can become very overwhelming. And so if we don't take care of ourselves, if we don't have that additional support, it becomes very exhausting, right? Especially if think about it. If you think about a parent, those parents that say they're burned out. And I've heard people make fun of that. And the truth be told, parenting is exhausting all the time. There is a burnout point. And that's why I hope that you have friends or family or somebody to step up and help you get through those times because that's real and there's nothing to feel guilty about. There's nothing to feel bad about. There's nothing to, criticize yourself for. Parenting's a full-time job and never ends. You don't get a step away from that. And even when you step away, you're going to work. And when you go to work, you're just coming home to do the same thing. So if your parent never felt bad for feeling burnt out, don't reach out for help. Get somebody to have your back. Give somebody this feeling that you have and let them help you get through it. I know that many people don't even realize that they're getting to the burnout period, right? They don't understand that feeling. A lot of times you can feel anxiety because, again, it's a buildup, right? So you feel anxiety, you feel overwhelmed, you feel that, you can't do enough. You feel that the load is just too good, too great. And with that being said, it with time creates that feeling of being just burnout, whether it be at work, whether it be at life, whether it be, with friendships, whether it be with relationships. Um, that is a true feeling. So it's important that we understand and identify what exactly burnout is, because when we can say, oh, hey, this is where we're at and this is what I need to do, it makes it to where we regulate easier. And then when we can regulate before it gets to a certain point of being burnout, we reduce the end problem of like quitting your job or, I don't know, doing something negative or harsh or turning to a bad coping skill such as drinking or, all of the things. We can reduce any negativity that may come from that. And that's why I want to talk about that. We're coming into the holiday seasons. We're coming into what I call the busy part of the year. And I know a lot of people take on a lot more during these times because they're involved with family. They're getting things ready for doing the holidays and just all the thing. Plus, they're keeping the same workload. Plus, they're not taking time off for themselves because when they're taking time off, they're, shopping or getting the house ready. They're doing all the things besides taking care of themselves. So that's why it's important, not only during this time, but any time of the year. So I hope that you have been able to say, oh, wow, okay, I'm going to believe that maybe this truly is burnout, or I'm getting to the point of burnout and this is what I'm going to do. I think that we forget as humans that we have to take care of ourselves. And when we take care of ourselves, it helps reduce the chances of burnout. When we are able to make ourselves a priority and say, man, I need to take this break. I need to take this vacation. I need to do whatever it is. I need to go for a walk. I need to, go shopping or just whatever it is. When you take time to listen to yourself, the outcome of that is going to be greater. And you will say, I don't ever feel burned out, you know? Um, Remember, it's okay to feel overwhelmed. Acknowledging burnout is the first step to just like recovering through it. And that's one thing that I can say. We have to acknowledge what's going on to create a change, right? So, if you found this video helpful, I want you to give it a thumbs up, like it. If you haven't already, subscribe because there will be more videos coming out. And then with that as well, I want to thank you guys for being part of this and just listening every week when I put these out. And thank you so much for being a part. If you have any comments or suggestions or anything to share with peers or anybody that might be watching this and struggling, giving them your idea and let them know what you're doing or your experiences and what you've done to be able to work through burnout or get over the burnout feeling. Let's go ahead and support each other because, we're not alone, right? I do, like I said, would like it if you subscribe here. Let's get some more thumbs up. Let's get some more content going on the mental health journey. And thank you guys so much. Have a great night. Bye.